Hi friends. Today I am painting some holly. I did a quick short of the holly the other day and a number of you asked me about it. So let's go ahead and paint that today. And excuse my allergies. I think, well, what I used the other day was this big old bad boy brush. So I'll go ahead and use that again. I typically use this one if I'm working on a larger piece of paper, but today I'm just working on that Artisto pad. And then I'll be using my 8 round, one of my favorite brushes. So those are the two brushes. I believe there's maybe 15 of my brushes left and they will be gone. We're not going to redo them again. So if you're interested in those, make sure you grab them. I'll put the link below. Okay, I'm going to use this for the leaves. It'll be a lot of fun. I'll use the 8 for some of the little berries and things. I'm getting my brush wet and I'm using my bling palette. This is you don't have to use this one. You can definitely use your regular bling. This is Paul Rubens. Look at those gorgeous colors. You know, I love those. So creamy and transparent. Love them. I just happen to have this sitting on my desk and it does have some of these metallics in there, which I might not use, but it has the rest of them are the same colors as that bling palette. And it's also really affordable for beginners. They're made by Paul Rubens. They're a great buy. I sprayed my paints with just a light misting of water to kind of start activating them. And let's get started. I'm going to load my brush. It's wet, but then I've scraped off a few times, so it's not completely full. So if I held it up, see that drop of water? For me, that is too much water. I don't want that. So when I get my brush wet, I'm just going to scrape it lightly on its side, just a few times, and then go ahead. I think I will use sap green. So let me just get a little bit of that in my palette. You guys asked me a lot about this palette, by the way. Isn't it great? Pardon I think I've got some allergies. So this is tree green or sap green in your my bling palette. And then a little bit of the lighter green. Honestly, use what green you like. Some of you, especially for the holidays, might want emerald green. I think that would be really pretty too. I'm loading my brush quite a bit with pigment and water, but yet it's not dripping. It's just pretty full. I'm going to go ahead and just start using the tip. I'm resting my hand on the side of my paper. By the way, this is the Artisto. You know, I love it. I'm a huge fan. You get 3 for $20, I think it is. If you are in or out of the US, you can get the 100% Meeden, which I'm a fan of too. Those are my 2 primary paints that I use. So I'm going to start with the tip of my brush, light pressure, and then applying pressure, and look at it. It's already making that holly leaf and then coming back up. Let's do it again. Point press and come up. Point press and come up. A little bit more. Point press. Try and make some different size. And I'm just going to keep doing that throughout. Point press. I mean, it pretty much makes a holly leaf without you even trying. Point press. Now what I'll do is I'm going to just rinse my brush just a tiny bit, and I'm going to go into that turkey blue, any type of turquoise blue, and kind of tap in and look at that beautiful blend. Just to get a little bit of interest in there. And then back into my green. I'll pick a little bit more of that up. And we'll keep going. Point press. Point press. You almost don't even have to swing it back around. Point press. And look at that. I'm trying to work in some of the different values, different colors. Let's go in with a few lighter ones. Point press, point press, point press. See those lighter ones? So they look like they're a little bit in the background. and some smaller ones. Just swooping around my brush. Now I'm going to go in for some of those berries. And I think what I'll actually do is use my 8 round. I'm going to use, you can use any of your browns. I'm going to use, I think this is Van Dyke brown. You could use your burnt sienna, which is really pretty. And tap into these while they're a little bit wet. Like that. And let it blend. The more water, the more it's going to blend into that green. And I love the brown and green. I think it's so beautiful together. Just like that. So we've got those. And now I'll go in with some of that pinkish, reddish, and add in some berries. I kind of like the pinky red. And I'm going to let these blend a little. So if they bleed, I'm perfectly fine with that. Just swooping my brush around, adding them here and there. I kind of just look at things and see where my eye feels it needs a little pop of color. Maybe a couple up here. There we go. And I'm almost done. The last thing I want to add, and I got a little bit high up here on my paper, is just a bow. So point press, maybe get a little bit more of that color on my brush. Point press. Kind of going left-handed here, point press. Like that. And I'm basically done. Of course, you could go in here and you could add, I don't think I have them sitting here. I do have the gold series. Sorry for that camera knock. So you could go in there. I just ordered more of this, but I think I have it in my backpack since I was traveling this weekend. And I'm going to pick up some of that gold and just add that in. Look how pretty that is. You don't have to do this though. This is really, you know, what do you like? Maybe you want to use that mirror series, which would be also very pretty. I am trying to use this side of my brush and not going in with my point, because we always want to protect that beautiful point on our brushes. So there's a little bit of gold. And then the last thing I'll do is take my big old bad boy, and I will just do some green splatters here, just mixing that same green, sap green, tree green, and we're just going to splatter a little. Like that. And look how fun that is. I loved this because I can make a lot of cards with this little technique. So I hope that helps, and I hope you have fun with this. I did use that big old bad boy 16 round of mine and my 8 round, and then my Artisto paper and my Lang paints. All right, everybody, happy painting.